Soundstripe.
What's up with us?
Hi.
Hi there. We did not plan this. No. Well, somebody had been, scolding me because I hadn't worn my brand new Men Who Knit, Guys Who Knit t-shirt, and I've had it quite a while. This was from the previous one.
The one before this.
Yes. So, this is not an April Fool's joke. It's April 1st that we're recording. We're at my house today, a different location to confuse everyone. We're out of practice, so trust us, we're going to be babbling more than we usually do. I think we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh, hi. I'm Vince.
No, you're not. I'm Vince. Or I'm Justin.
April Fool's.
April Fool.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Vince, and we are the Boozie Bears Knitting Podcast. I was going to say knitting retreat.
Yes, we're an entire retreat in ourselves.
In and of ourselves, and we're not boozy because we're recording early today, and
it's 10 a.m.
10 a.m. That's a little early for a cocktail, even for us.
Yeah, especially on a weekday.
Yes. Friday, April 1st, 2022.
Oh, goodness.
Yay. So,
and it's snowing in Buffalo, New York right now.
Mother Nature is playing an April Fool's joke. It's very little, like Fluffy's. Not like it was Sunday when I came back from New York City. I was driving down Parkside from the freeway. I couldn't see half a block ahead of me. It was like that whole ride was in and out of whiteouts. I'm just glad I've driven this so much that I know where everything is. Welcome back to Buffalo. So, we're back. Both of us here. No guest host, though Kaylee did a great job.
Yes, she did.
I thought she was really good.
And Maya did a pretty good job, too.
Well, she was just adorable. As Auntie Sa would say, she's a little mama doll. But it was a good idea, and I think we'll do that more. Maybe have me do with guest hosts, or just have a special guest join the two of us.
Yes.
That'll be something different. I'm sure we have a collection of knitters who would love to join us and be on here, and because they're all so shy and
they really are.
So, updates, because it's been a whole long time since everyone's seen me. I think our last episode was in October. I had to go back and look at it to see what I showed in case I wanted to show things again. I am still working. Like I said, last year I got a contract position with Citigroup, and in February they hired me full-time. So I'm now a full-time employee with all kinds of good benefits and all that good stuff. So, and I get to work from home. As soon as they hired me full-time and gave me access, I was working from home 5 days a week. Now they are transitioning us back into the office. So I have to go in 2 days a week. I go in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is kind of different. It's like, well, there's more of us there. And I'm like, my apartment is so quiet. And these kids are so chatty. And I can't just go to the fridge and get a glass of ginger ale when I'm feeling parched. But otherwise, it's all good. So that's what's happening with me.
Not much has changed with me since last time we filmed. I've just been working and working and working.
Somebody made an announcement in the last episode, which I didn't know, didn't tell me.
I hadn't seen you.
Couldn't do a Facebook message and say, hey.
Wow.
the Italian guilt, you know. I am an old Italian.
Although I don't think...
Actually,
Did I have it on last time?
You post when we were at the Welcome Center. You did have it on, and you didn't say anything to any of us. And then you made
that's right.
You made your Facebook post, and
yeah, that was right.
I'm like, you snarky little witch.
That's right.
So
well, you know.
He probably thought he told me, but he didn't.
I mean,
me, you know.
Honestly, that was probably what.
I'm sure. We're not the smartest people at times. And I did tell him this when he got here. This was a bit of a revelation. I was away this past weekend. I went to New York City. I saw Company on Broadway, which was fabulous. Patti LuPone. You're not a Broadway person, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know the show, but I know who Patti LuPone is.
Well, good.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it was a very good show. Great cast, and I had great seats. I was second row, right orchestra. So,
did you forget that I made Tom look like Patti LuPone when I did his makeup for Switch Night?
He just tends to look that way. It's sort of the look that comes out of him.
Oh, Sable.
But the big shock was I was in New York City and did not go to a yarn shop. I thought about it. I did look, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't need to spend money on yarn. Notice I did not say I don't need yarn. I just said I don't need to spend money.
That is an expensive weekend already.
Yeah. Well, the majority of stuff was already paid for. You know, I took the train, that was already paid for. My hotel room, my ticket to the ball, the theater ticket. I mean, it was basically my food, which, you know, it is what it is. You find sensible places to eat. Juniors, I had potato pancakes and their cheesecake, which was awesome.
Well, of course.
So, that's that. All right. So, our layouts talks about somewhere we went just after our last podcast. I think it kind of jinxed us on podcasting. We didn't do any since then.
It sucked all the podcasting mojo right out of us.
I think
apparently.
so. We went to the Great Lakes Men's Knitting Retreat. Ding! And it was a new venue, and it was a great place. It was beautiful, and we just sat around and knit and talked, and jackassery was abundant, and had a great time.
All of our best laid plans of filming things while we were there just sort of... It basically got to the last day and we went, oh, hey.
Yeah, we didn't do that. So, well, maybe this year,
yeah.
I think we just have to make a plan and say, okay, on this day, we are doing this.
Maybe this time.
It's just, the days just go by quickly. You think you have so much time, and all of a sudden, it's Sunday morning. So, but it was a great venue. We went to a new place, and they treated us well. The food was very good. The location was beautiful. It was right off a lake, and we had nice weather. It was not freezing cold.
Yeah, there was a wonderful fireplace, but next to the fireplace there were gigantic windows so you could look out.
Yeah.
Like at the lake, and
had it been just a touch warmer out, I think we all would have sat out on the patio.
Oh, absolutely.
It was gorgeous out there. We had a little meeting out there the first day, and it's like, okay, it's getting a little chilly. I think we need to go inside. But great time, great people, great food, and we're all looking forward to this November when we go back. It's already been booked.
Yes. Stephen
has been on the ball. So, but we had a great time, and we all shopped, and we all knit, and we all laughed and joked and
Oh.
all sorts of shenanigans, you know.
You know, that's what things I haven't shown yet. It's all the acquisitions from the retreat itself.
Yeah, I think
That
most
was
I think most of those are like packed away or just in the yarn room.
yeah.
So that's that. But we had a great time, as always, and we're all looking forward to it. We still stay in touch with all the guys. We do a Facebook Messenger chat group, and it's still just as busy. Everyone's keeping us up to date on what we're doing and what's going on. So.
Yeah, basically it's become, now we just change the year.
Pretty much.
The name of the group every year to the next year.
Yeah, pretty much. And if, you know,
you add the new people in.
If anyone new comes in, or if anyone says I'm not coming, I can't come next year, you know, you guys can take me out. But a lot of times they'll just hang around for the chit chat and shenanigans. So, anything else you got to say about that whole thing?
No, not really.
Just lots of fun. So we have both said we're going to make a conscious effort to start podcasting on a more regular basis.
Yes.
We're gonna hound each other, because I did message him about a week ago. I said, we have to podcast. I'm back in town. Let's get this done, or we will go months again, because that was basically what happened. And we're kind of on opposite schedules now, which is part of the issue, because I work second shift 3:30 till midnight, Monday through Friday. So I go into work as he gets out of work.
Exactly. And then the only day that we have in common off is, of course, Saturday, and Saturday is just always the day that there's something.
Yeah.
Everybody always has something on Saturday.
Always something going on, but you had today off, and I don't start till 3:30, and I work from home today, so not having to do that drive is very, very pleasant. It's my favorite
Especially
part.
out there right now. It's so dreary.
Well, when we were having that bad weather in January, it was not fun. So, all right. So moving on, as we said, this is an early morning episode, so there is no cocktail.
It's a dry episode.
Yes. We might be going through the withdrawal, a little too much blood in our alcohol stream. All right, so we will start with our works in progress.
All right. I will start with what's right in front of me.
Yay.
So I showed this in the last episode, and I've made a pretty decent amount of progress. I'm making the flax sweater. And as I stated last time, let me get to it. You can see that I'm doing a cable down the sleeve instead of just the regular garter panel. You know.
Aren't you fancy?
It was what was requested by who is going to wear it. So I am at the point where I am just knitting around for length before I split for the sleeves, and I think I have maybe an inch left to knit around. So I said it in the last episode, but in case you didn't see that one, I am using a DK weight yarn, and it calls for worsted. So I did a little bit of the maths and changed my needle size down a needle. I went down a needle size. Let's see, down a needle size, up a like shirt size. Sweater size, whatever. It all makes sense when you think about it.
Smaller needles, making the larger size.
Larger size, yes. So that's why I have to knit so many times around to get to where it's supposed to be, but it's coming out very well. I really love this yarn color. And the best part, I might have said this last time too, but the best part is that because it's such a tonal yarn, I do not have to worry about trying to like switch between skeins and try to mix them together, because it's already tonal, so it's just gonna mix together. Plus I bought all the yarn for this sweater out of, actually I had her dye it for me, so it's Dye Monkey Yarns from Jess.
Looks very nice. It's going to be a good looking sweater.
I can't.
That's a nice deep maroon red. Very nice.
All right, what do you got?
Okay. Well, a while back I did my fundraiser called Socks and Jocks, which Bearwear is now doing a special called Socks and Jocks, because they have not only do they have their underwear line, they're doing jock straps and socks. And I'm like, where'd they get that idea from?
Yeah, I'm sure they stole it
right from me. Anyways, so back at the end of January, we did the fundraiser and I pulled my winners, and I started, the first person, my friend Jackie, won the socks. So she definitely said she wanted a pair of socks. She did not want a jock strap, but I was like, good. So I dug through my stash and said, what color do you like? And she wanted a green or maybe a purple. So I dug through and she saw them. She's like, I like this one. So we started on the sock. Being that I'm making a lady sock, it's much smaller. I don't have to cover my big old canal boats. So I think I got maybe like an inch left on the leg, and then I can do the heel. She didn't want anything fancy or lacy. She wanted just like something nice and simple. So I'm like, cool, a nice vanilla sock. I can do that. So we're working on that, and it's coming along. I bought this, I think, what used to be Stitching Memories, now Chicks with Sticks, couple of retreats ago. I don't remember what the yarn is. I'm sure I have a Ravelry. I know I have a Ravelry page with that information, but I'm liking it. So
I did say in the last episode that I needed to do one of those for this, but still haven't done that.
I'm not as good at that as I used to be. I used to be very cast on a project, start that Ravelry page and get all my information, because you're going to want to like say, what did I make this out of? When did I make that? Because I did look, because for this episode, I'm like, what was the last thing I showed and what have I made since then? So I looked at my Ravelry page and I'm like, ooh, there's a few things I know I made that aren't here. So that's that.
At least one of us has some things that we've made that weren't here. All right, so my next one, I talked about this in the last episode, and I've made it 2 whole rows past where I was in the last episode.
Ooh, doggy.
So
yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm like, I know what clue you're on. I know what clue you should be on.
So this is my, now I'm not a full row because I just pulled it out. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, let's not pull that whole thing. There we go, that's better. So this is the Project Linus crochet along blanket, and I know I put in a picture last time of that first section, and you can see that yellow at the bottom. It's, I can't even remember what that stitch is called at this point, but that's the beginning of section 2, and that is 2 whole rows that I've done. The problem with this became that this stitch is so much more complicated than the first one was.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do this when I'm at work because I can't focus on it.
Yeah.
So I just
And
sort of stalled.
Yeah, most people were pretty challenged by that second clue in the crochet along.
And I mean, I got it pretty quickly, but you can't
it's not mindless.
Yeah, you literally have to sit and pay attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, even Pat said she had to really focus when she was working at it, and she is like the crochet queen.
Yeah, because on Saturday, clue number 4 comes out, I think?
No, clue 4 already came out.
Oh, so clue 5 comes out
will be coming
tomorrow.
Out. Yeah.
And I'm 2 rows into clue 2, so I'm a tad bit behind.
It's not a race.
Hopefully when I go home today, I'll have a minute to sit down and work on this, because then later tonight I have even more things that I
Yes, we have things to do.
Have to do.
Ah, well. So, I am also doing the Project Linus, but I am doing the knit along. So,
I'm technically a part of that too. I signed up for it. I haven't started.
Here's mine. I did the first 3 sections. Section 3 went so quickly, and I love the pattern. It's a great pattern stitch.
Nice.
Section 4 came out over the weekend, and I was out of town, so I didn't even start on it. But like I said, Section 3, I loved it, and it went so quickly. I think I finished it like the second day. So I said, well, I'm kind of bored. Yeah, I could have worked on the socks, but I just decided to be ambitious.
Oh no.
And I cast on a second one. I have a ton of this pink acrylic. And I said, well, we're gonna be donating them, and they're for kids, and they want acrylic blankets for ease of cleaning and blah, 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 blah. So I decided I would make one with this. And to make it a little different, I'm doing the whole thing out of this one yarn. So the second section and the fourth section are 2 color ones. So I said, I'm just going to do a pattern stitch instead. So I looked at the way they were doing the color pattern, and I said, well, I'll do knits, and where it should be the second color, I'll do pearls, and it'll be all sorts of fun. Of course, I realized the first 2 sections didn't knit up as quickly as that third, that I was like, oh, let's start another one. So I just got to the third one. In fact, this was what I was working on the train trip when I went to New York. So it is what it is. It's fun, and we'll have blankets to donate to Project Linus when we're done.
You know why he showed that second one, right? He showed that second one to, shame me because I'm only on section 2 of mine.
Until you showed yours, I did not know how far along you were. And seeing the samples of the crochet alongs, I'm not shocked, because I would have struggled. Though that last section of the crochet along, the waffle stitch
is gorgeous.
That.
Yes.
It is
I've done that stitch before on something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's
So many people have said, I want to do an entire blanket out of this,
because it's very squishy.
Yes, and it looks great. I said they need a maple syrup stitch for the next section. Humor. I think I'm funny.
Good thing someone does.
Somebody has to. So that's it for our whips, at least.
Yeah.
Whips that are being progressed on.
Yes.
We have a few, hibernation things.
Certainly have. So remember, I think I told the story on here too. At the auction, I bought that whip that turned out to be a hitchhiker, and then I had bought needles, and they happened to be the exact right ones. Well, I pulled the bag out for that the other day, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to start working on it. And I remembered why I don't use wooden needles. One of them was broken.
Oh.
And I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've ordered some likey needles, the ones made of driftwood.
Mhm.
I like the I likey.
Mm-hmm.
I like working with them. I like how they work. I like the cables. I have broken several of them. Especially if I'm doing anything on US ones, I should not be using a wooden needle.
No,
It's just
yeah.
It's either when I'm doing something that requires very tight, or I'm sitting on the sofa and I'll go to get up and I push down on the needle. I stamped one that way. So
Yeah, and I mean, there we go.
We are. We're back. We had one of those moments of, wait, is it not filming? Fortunately, we did not lose a whole lot of time.
No.
We were sure it was like, oh, it stopped 5 minutes in. But I think I was talking about likey needles. I don't remember what
You were
I
talking
said.
about breaking your needles.
Breaking
yes.
needles. So, oh well. We're just beasts. What can we do? Anyways, what did we start after that? I don't know. We rambled on a bit.
It's all lost now.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna go back to acquisitions, because that's what we were talking about. We were talking about old patterns, and then it went to needles and.
Oh yes.
Anyways, I have some acquisitions, so we'll just go to that rather than rambling endlessly. So, I had a good Christmas. I had Christmas gift yarn. My older brother's girlfriend, who was also a knitter, gave me yarn for Christmas. I said, "Ooh, she's a keeper. We like her." So this is Andy and the Sun Baby Alpaca, and it's a DK, which I like because I'm starting to expand my DK stash, because I'm seeing a lot of patterns that are done in DK that I'm liking. So I got 3 balls of it. It's like a olive-ish green. So that will go in my stash, and it will be lots of fun. So we like that. Now, on to my bigger acquisition. A few months back, Nancy from Trilogy Yarns announced her Broadway musical club. And I was like, what? Here, take my money. So I signed up for that. And every month, she dyes a colorway based on the playbill of a Broadway musical. So I've gotten 4 so far, and I'm really liking them. I got the DK in her MCN base. The first one was for A Christmas Story. You'll knit your eye out! And this is looking lots of fun. I was very happy with it. So, like I said, I'm building up my DK stash. I'm sure there will be a hat pattern that I need to make. The Grocery Girls will come out with another DK hat pattern that I just had to make. The following month, she did Miss Saigon, which is a great combination of browns and blacks and gray and natural. So that'll work up nicely. And then she did West Side Story. And the latest one was for Wicked, which Ross from Smells Like Yarn, he's in the club too, and he got his, and he quickly wound it up and
let me guess,
blew
Ross
a
hat.
Ross hat, which looked pretty darn fabulous with it. And each month you get a little goodie along with it. She usually puts at least one little package of soap. So I got a bunch of those. The first one was you got the Trilogy yarn little tote bag. Aren't you jealous? Because you love a tote bag. And then fun little doodads, a thing of hand lotion, a Trilogy yarn tape measure. This one I was like, what is this? And then I'm like, oh look, it's a little pair of snips. Now the funny thing is, you know, short-term memory loss and all that. When it first came, I was like, Trilogy yarn? What did I get from Trilogy yarn? And then I opened it, I'm like, oh yeah, the Broadway Club, yay. So recently I got it. She always packages them the same. They're in those vinyl bags. She folds it over. Well, I got one and I'm like, oh, my next Broadway Club one. So I'm like, the vinyl bag, you gotta cut it open. And I'm like, oh, she kind of wrapped this a bit tight. We gotta be careful here. And I open it up and they were the free COVID tests that I had ordered. I'm like, oh, this isn't yarn. I, of course, messaged Nancy on Instagram to share that story, and she was highly amused by it.
It's gray now, but it used to be blonde.
So when I got the Wicked package, I took a picture and sent it to him. I said, yarn or COVID test? Who can say? Hey, I keep us laughing. And if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. So eventually I might wind these hanks up and make something out of them. Yeah, maybe even a Ross hat.
There you go.
Yeah, but she knew her demographic when she came up with this. I believe Zach from Nick Zach, his comment was, "Shut up, take my money."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost did it. I almost did it too, but I couldn't quite pull the trigger.
You showed self-control, which can be admirable. It's not like you aren't supporting our friends who are dyers.
I showed self-control, and then the first one that he gets is the Christmas Story, which is my absolute favorite. And I'm like, damn it. So I didn't put anything into acquisitions because I didn't think that I had anything. But then I remembered that, so our knit group that we belong to, the Wednesday and Saturday, the Western New York Yarnies, we got a donation of a ton of books. And so we decided in fair way to disperse them would be we put posts in our Facebook group with all the books that were numbered, and you put down that, I want number this, 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 and this. And then at our Wednesday night meeting, we put all the names into a hat for each book, pull one out, and someone gets it. So there are a few here that I won. This first one, after I just explained all that, this first one was actually at the last Knitting Guild meeting. I saw this book, and I've actually seen this book before and almost bought it, but it was just there and I got it for free. It's Boyfriend Sweaters. And you'll notice at the bottom there's a very familiar name. So the book is by Bruce Weinstein, but the photography is by Jared Flood, who is a very popular, especially menswear designer for what's the yarn company that he works for?
Brooklyn Tweed?
Yes, Brooklyn Tweed. There are a lot of great things in here.
Yes, that's a really great thing. And the sweater's nice too.
Yeah, it's a really great thing.
Do the test, cover the face. Cover the face. Do you still like the sweater?
I do still like the sweater, actually.
That zipper though, that would, sewing is my challenge.
Yeah, that would be a pain in the butt, but that actually is kind of cool though, because it has get a little closer here. It has like an offset zipper, which is kind of cool. I love. It's not houndstooth, but it's very close.
It's very close.
On the back.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wonder if they do call that houndstooth. Let's look. See if we can find it. Oh, somebody's notes in there.
Hmm. Those are always festive times.
Oh, I think I'm far past any of those. So I don't know. Oh, there it is.
Houndstooth cardigan.
They do. They call it a houndstooth cardigan. So, well, we might. Oh, it's a decent size range too. Oh wait, that's women's. Okay, well, maybe not so much, but I'm sure I could probably find a way to make it in my size.
Well, what I've been known to do is I take the Ann Budd book.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me the sizes and just take the pattern design from another book. That's what I do with a lot of my vintage patterns.
So that
because gentlemen were so much smaller back then.
Yes. So that one was from the Knitting Guild, and then these ones are from the Western New York Yarnies giveaway thing. So I have baby blocks, square Afghans that you knit in one piece. So there's a bunch of those. Fun little things. That's just a little leaflet. This one I saw and it looked really fun. 50 fabulous knit garter stitches. So these I think are all done with just, knits and purls. So all real simple. I looked through it and nothing looks like it's that difficult, but some of them are very, very impressive looking for being just, nothing fancy. This one, I thought was going to be a bunch of knitting and crocheting stuff. But then I opened it up and on the first page it's like, oh look, cross stitch quilting. I'm like, oh no. And of course there are some knit things. Ugh. But then right next to that it's, sewing and embroidery, and so I mean there's a few cute little things in there, but most of the stuff is something I have no idea how to do. And then this one is really fun. This is a book full of different types of Afghan patterns to crochet. I'll show you the back, shows a few more. There's a really nice one. I want to say it's one of the first ones in here that I really liked. Yes, this one. It's kind of cool because you crochet it in those oval panels and then you crochet them all together, which is nice because it's a way of making a bigger blanket, but you don't have to
carry that
you
with
have
you
to
on.
you don't have to carry an entire blanket with you all the time. But yeah, so I think that that's all of them.
That's all of them.
There are more. I couldn't remember where I put them before I left, so I have more somewhere. Maybe I'll bring them to the next episode.
Very festive.
That's it.
Yay. So that's all we got for now.
It is. Potential spam is calling.
Spam. Damn it, potential. We're podcasting.
Oh, I forgot. It's literally sitting right in front of me. This was our
sitting right over here.
Part of our goodie bag from the men's knitting retreat this year. I got the pink one because nobody wanted pink. They're big manly men, manly men. And then we had these put on the back. You can't really see his yellow one
No.
that well, but I'll put this. It says, "I love a good fingering." 'Cause who doesn't love a good fingering?
Yes.
And it's all filled with goodies. Mine is filled with more than just what was in here before.
Mine has a whip that hasn't been worked on in ages.
I was gonna say it has a whip that hasn't been used in it. I don't think you should share that with our podcast. I mean, but there's lots that there's little glasses cleaner wipe with the logo on it. There was a whole bunch of little logo things. I think there was a little thing to hold those little packages of Kleenex. But yeah, that was fun. Did you show? No, you didn't show that.
I did not show that. This was a little self-absorbent because it's something that I really like, and I said, well, I'm gonna give it to the guys. And the group was very supportive to me while I was doing the job hunt and very encouraging. And I'm like, I want to give something back to the guys. And I looked a few things up, and I said, Stephen, we're gonna have bags for the retreat. I had to talk him off the ledge. I said, nobody's going to be upset that we're gonna get two project bags. We are all project bag whores. So I found this, and I had the logo on it. It's kind of like a satchel, which we had gotten one at the spring retreat one year. It was my favorite knitting bag. I just like this style, and I used it until it basically fell apart. So this was my gift to the guys.
Yeah, I used mine like that until it fell apart too.
Yeah, I was not too happy. I did take one and put it aside. The zipper on this big pocket split on me.
I mean, mine's technically an easy fix. I just need to get a new zipper pull and put it on there.
Oh no, mine the zipper splits apart.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if any of the other guys have had issues with theirs.
They haven't said anything.
They haven't. It may just be us because
we're, like you said before, we're beasts.
We are beasts.
We break needles and bags.
Yes. Because I was like, if everyone's having issue with these, I might have to put a complaint in, because they were not outrageously expensive, but they weren't cheap. They weren't cheap either, And I was kind of disappointed that there was that issue with them. But since I had to order a minimum amount, I have a couple extra. So,
I don't know what you'll ever do with them.
When the zippers break
Exactly.
down, get a new one.
All right. Well, I think that is all we have, and I think before the camera shuts off on us again.
Yeah. I'm tending to look at that counter now just to make sure.
I've been staring at it the whole time now.
That moment when you see 0000, what's going on?
All right.
So the usual.
Yep. Do all the social media things: like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notifications when we post episodes. Especially now, because sometimes it's an entire fiscal quarter before we post another video.
It was the end of October, and we were so sure we were going to podcast right after the retreat.
Well, we were going to have all that footage from the retreat.
That was what did it. But it'll all be better in 2022.
It will. It's going to be. It has to be.
Well, they also weren't quite pushy with us. They weren't like, well, aren't we going to do this? Not
until that last day.
Yeah. As we were having
weren't
lunch.
You guys gonna?
Yeah, it's like, you should have mentioned this on Friday or Saturday.
Oh, well.
What you gonna do? So that's about it. Before we just continue to ramble on,
yes,
we will say goodbye and hopefully be back in a couple of weeks. Let's see, 3 weeks. Because we know 2 weeks won't happen.
Well, so we'll say 3 weeks. If we get back here in 2 weeks, then we get back here in 2 weeks.
And that's better.
Exactly.
But we will try not to make it several months.
Yes.
Other than that, enjoy, leave us some comments, and we will be seeing you again very soon.
See you later.
Later.
Tragedy. Travesty. And whatever other isties or iddies you can do.
The floors up here are in much better shape. Mom's?
Yeah,
those are crappy wood floors.
And they probably covered both of them at the same time because
it was the 60s. That's what you did.
Why take care of these ones if you're covering up the ones downstairs?
Yeah, because like the bed, you've been in the bedrooms. You've seen, you know, those have good.
There we go.
Floors. Yeah, because I remember downstairs, and I was only 12 at the time, but I do remember they were not good wood floors.
Actually, I want to be a little close here.
Don't hurt yourself, Mary.
Oh, too late. Been there, done that. No, wrong one. There we go.
There we go.
It's like, oh, no, wrong one. That's probably good.
I would twist it a little because you're catching the edge of this lamp, and I'm sure that will give a glare much better. This will continue to confuse them with locations. This is our April Fool's location.
Oh, God. And you know what one of the great things is now that I have an Apple Watch.
You're so fancy. Smell you.
What does it say? It's...
Soundstripe.